on the bold and the beautiful family secrets and complicated relationships are the norm. This time around, the dynamic duo of Steffy Forrester and Ridge Forrester, Steffy's father, find themselves confronting a secret that has the potential to change everything. Steffy discovers a side of Ridge's background that she was unaware of when she comes into possession of a secret document. This side of Ridge's past has the potential to permanently impact their lives, as well as the power dynamic at Forrester Creations with its revelation. Steffy, a resolute leader and Ridge's cherished daughter, is caught between her allegiance to her father and her desire to safeguard Forrester Creations at any cost. Steffy is a strong leader. Concurrently, Ridge is struggling with the decision of whether or not to address his history or to keep it buried. Steffy and Ridge are forced to reevaluate everything they believed they understood about love, loyalty, and legacy as a result of the facts contained in the document, which contain answers that neither of them anticipated. In the shadows, a discovery was made. When Steffy is working late one night, she is reading through an old set of company files in order to be ready for a significant investor meeting. This is the moment when everything begins. While she is going through the documents, she finds a folder that is shabby and dusty and is labeled confidential. Inquisitive, she opens it, anticipating that it may contain old business documents or contracts that have become obsolete. However, what she discovers instead is a shocking discovery. A document that describes a financial arrangement that Ridge signed many years ago. The document is a contract that contains a condition that may perhaps cost Forrester Creations more than money. Forrester was going through a difficult financial moment, and the paper suggests that Ridge made a deal with an unknown investor to obtain a significant amount of money for the company. There is, however, more. If specific requirements are satisfied, the investor is granted the power to make critical decisions on the future of the company, decisions that have the potential to overturn both Ridge and Steffy's authority. This right is stipulated in the contract. The repercussions of a secret history. In the course of Steffy's reading of the document, she comes to the startling discovery that her father has never disclosed this information to anyone else. Based on the information provided, it appears that Ridge concealed the agreement in order to safeguard both the family and the business. The stipulations have now come back to haunt him, despite the fact that he needed the money to keep Forrester Creations afloat during a difficult era. It suddenly occurs to her that if this investor makes the decision to exercise their rights, they would be able to have the ultimate say on significant issues, which would deprive the Forresters of authority over their own legacy. Steffy struggles to make sense of this information and seeks guidance on how to proceed. Would she be able to confront Ridge? If she wants to protect him, should she keep this a secret? She is aware of how much is at stake, despite the fact that she loves her father very much. The protection of Forrester Creations is of the utmost importance to Steffy, and despite the fact that she is aware that Ridge would never knowingly put the company in jeopardy, she feels betrayed by his lack of transparency. The revelations of Ridge, the reappearance of old scars. The talk between Steffy and Ridge is intense when they eventually confront each other. In the beginning, Ridge is defensive because he does not get the reason why Steffy is so furious. However, Ridge's normally calm manner begins to deteriorate as she continues to convey what she saw and her worries for the future of the organization. Steffy is now under a significant amount of pressure as a result of the weight of his actions, the unforeseen consequences of a decision he made a long time ago, and the load that it has placed on her. A portion of Ridge's history that he has concealed for many years is revealed to Steffy as he opens up to her. He explains that Forrester Creations was on the verge of going out of business at the moment that he signed that deal. He had the impression that he had no other option. In order to avoid losing the business that had been in the Forrester family for an extended period of time, it was imperative that this transaction be struck. However, because he was so intent on fixing everything by himself, he failed to take into account the potential impact that it could have on his children and the legacy that he so fervently desired to preserve. As she listens, Steffy's feelings are conflicted. She is able to empathize with her father since she observes his fragility and the battle he goes through to keep everything together. However, she is also acutely aware of the risk that he took, a risk that may put everything that they have worked for at danger in the event that the investor opted to carry out the terms of the contract. An intense and risky game of power. There is still a lack of clarity on the identity of the investor, which causes Steffy and Ridge to have additional questions. Forrester Creations is under the control of who holds this power. Also, why have they been so silent for such a long period of time? As Steffy continues her investigation, she comes across a few hints that lead her to suspect that the investor in question is a member of the Forrester family. According to Steffy, this investor has been linked to Forrester Creations in ways that were not anticipated. Steffy's spine tingles all the way down as she considers the possibility of a connection to Bill Spencer. However, despite the fact that Bill has always been a competitor of the Forresters, he has also been involved in their life in a variety of difficult ways. It is beginning to occur to her that Bill might be the one behind this, and that he is only waiting for the right opportunity to use his power. If this is the case, then it would explain why he has always shown such a strong interest in Forrester Creations, as well as why he frequently finds himself in disagreement with Ridge. It is intolerable for both Steffy and Ridge to consider the possibility of Bill having control over Forrester, and they are aware that they must have strategy. They make the decision to get in touch with Bill in a way that is both covert and strategic in order to find out if he discloses anything that could validate their suspicions. If Bill is the one who controls that contract, they will need to proceed with caution because provoking him could result in a disastrous outcome. Making a business agreement for the purpose of the future. As a result of the fact that Steffy and Ridge are aware that going directly to the investor could be counterproductive, they have made the decision to hold a meeting with the Forrester family in order to explore their choices. All of the individuals who have an interest in Forrester Creations, including Eric, Brooke, and others, are gathered together and informed of the situation. The family is in agreement that they need to come together and figure out a solution to protect the business, despite the fact that they were first stunned. Steffy and Ridge come up with a strategy to renegotiate the terms of the deal with the investor, which is a surprise turn of events considering the circumstances. Ridge comes to the conclusion that the most effective strategy is to be honest. By facing this investor, he is hoping to be able to negotiate a settlement that will allow Forrester Creations to remain under the authority of the family while also ensuring its safety. After some time, they are able to set up a meeting with Bill, and during the tense confrontation that ensues, Ridge lays everything out on the table. They are relieved when Bill listens to them and acknowledges that he is willing to bargain, despite the fact that he is the one who holds the contract. In spite of the fact that Bill has his motives for retaining this influence, he is also aware that pushing Ridge and Steffy to their limits could result in unanticipated consequences for all parties concerned. A new agreement, a more solidified connection. After a number of hours of discussion and compromise, Bill, Ridge, and Steffy finally come to an agreement. It is agreed upon by Bill that he will relinquish his control in exchange for a strategic relationship with Forrester Creations. This partnership will be mutually beneficial and will not compromise the autonomy of the company. With the knowledge that they have successfully preserved the inheritance for the time being, Steffy and Ridge let out a sigh of relief. Following the conclusion of the ordeal, Steffy and Ridge become closer to one another, thereby exposing the extent of their love and loyalty for one another. In light of the fact that his secret almost cost him everything, Ridge is feeling a sense of humility. From Steffy's perspective, her father is a guy who has made sacrifices, but has also made mistakes. Steffy views her father in a new way. The event has strengthened their friendship, and as a result, they emerge from it more united than they were before. The hidden paper may have come as a surprise to Steffy and Ridge, but it has served to remind them that they are capable of weathering any storm when they work together. The Forresters place a high value on family, and as long as they remain united, they will discover a way to ensure that their legacy is carried on beyond their generation. In addition, they have established new partnerships and alliances, which means that they are prepared to meet any obstacles that may arise in the future.